guy's just a brute, man. He's gonna go in and punch stuff.
It's a game of managing risk more than it is anything else.
Every aspect of the monster, not just little pieces.
That's just complete theory crafting.
It's time for me to kind of step up my game and see what I could do to be a better player.
Hey there, welcome to the GenCon special edition of the Team Covenant podcast, which is also a video, as you can see if you're watching. We are here in our hotel room in Indianapolis, and we are enjoying the pre-GenCon experience with lots of friends here, and we've been playing Monster Apocalypse all night. We've been thinking about strategies and the meta and things that are going to be happening tomorrow for the single monster event. And here we are, hoping to do our best in that qualifier. What do you think, Zach? How's everything going for you?
It's good. I'm excited about the single monster. I haven't played the Masters in several months. I have Robert over here who packs the Dunkaroos, which make everything happen. Other than that, I'm good. How about you?
Well, I'm feeling great. I just took on Clay's Zizarax in a thrilling match where my dice rolling actually won the game there at the end, but I was probably outplayed overall. But it's good to see Zizarax. I think that I will probably see him tomorrow in some form, maybe in the top 8 if I'm lucky enough to get there, or in some of the qualifying rounds, because I think he's a really good pick. Zizarax Manacon is a strong Destroyers team for the list tomorrow. So that's good. It's good to get your hands on some miniatures, get to Indianapolis, start playing Monster Apocalypse, get in the zone, get in the groove, and get comfortable so that it's not a big deal tomorrow whenever we bust our miniatures out. We've got a lot of special guests here in the hotel room.
Yes, indeed.
Many more coming in and leaving as we talk. We've got Clay, we've got Robert, we've got Daniel, we've got Mark, we've got Ken, and we've got Tim back there. Just do a little pan out here so you can see who all those. There's the Ken monster back there, no shirt. Look at this motley crew. This is a good bunch. It's a good bunch of people. Many of which you will see on the Team Covenant forums or site or comments or whatever. And we've been playing and enjoying and having a great time, and that's really what this is all about. It's about meeting up with everybody that you enjoy and spending time and hanging out, having a good time. So.
Now, last year we did a lot of videos, a lot of interviews. We got a lot of really good information from Privateer Press, right? So what can the people see in this video or listen to this podcast expect from us over the next few days? Because things have amped up a little bit.
Yeah. Things have amped up, and we're going to be doing essentially a blitz of the Monster Apocalypse universe, of the spoilers here. And we're hoping to catch really early tomorrow anything the Privateer Press has going on. We're going to get in there as early as we're allowed at 7:30 in the morning and get our badges, get our press badges, and roll into the booth, Privateer Press booth, first thing to see if there's any kind of spoilers, any kind of quantum condos of this year, any Series 6 stuff, maybe a new diorama, anything crazy going on. And the first thing we're going to do is post that stuff up. We're going to take pictures, we're going to take video if we can, and we're going to get it to you guys as soon as possible. And then next we'll start playing in the Single Monster Tournament, and we'll be recording at least one game of every round. And you'll see some of the matches that hopefully you want to see, maybe some of the more high-level stuff, where the people that we know and the people that are in this room, and Josh, Vermillion, and all those people on your top 4 list, anyone who they're playing, that's kind of the games that we got our eye on. And we'll be reporting on those. We'll keep you up to date on any of maybe sometimes they release prizes. They'll lay out some prizes for the top 3 or top 4, and we'll be able to see maybe some of the megas or some of the ultras from Series 6 like they did last year. God, we've got everything. I mean, we've got that. We've got tons of reporting on Privateer Press and Monster Apocalypse all weekend. We've got spoiled stuff as well. We've got the Nationals going on for that. We've got booths and basically anything we find interesting on top of what we already are going to be covering nationally. So we've got a ton of stuff.
We do.
And it's going to be essentially a huge amount of information in a very short period of time. So you can't beat that, in my opinion.
I agree. Pictures, videos, and more.
Pictures, videos, and more.
Sounds fun, brother.
Anything else that we have planned for this weekend. It's GenCon.
It is GenCon. It's Masters. It's months of preparations by 32 players, I guess, for single and 32 for double. And it's going to culminate tomorrow. It's going to start happening. We're going to find out. How you feeling about it?
Well, see, the thing is, I think that this Masters tournament is a really interesting event. It may be the most, I was calling it the most formative, maybe that's not correct, but maybe the biggest event that's happened in Monsterpocalypse, because we have the first Gen Con where there's people who are just now getting into the depth of Monsterpocalypse, and you have a relatively small amount of the people who are playing the game at the upper tiers of strategic thought, right, or tactical thought.
Yeah.
You have a lot of people who get into the game, and everyone's kind of new to it. You come to this Gen Con tournament, and you have a winner. Josh wins that one. And then we have a whole year to basically evolve and to start thinking about how best to play the game. Things like our recent article that Will Grant put up about the damage curve. We've got things on what monsters are best and why they're best, and the efficiency curve, like all sorts of efficiency, how you use your dice, all these new triggers, these new units, and everyone's just gotten a hell of a lot better at Monsterpocalypse.
Indeed.
Basically what it comes down to.
And we have 2 more sets. We have 6 new factions since then. A lot of things have changed in the Monsterpocalypse world, and after a lot of players start learning about board control and positioning and mastering a lot of the in-depth elements of the game, at some point it's lots of really good players playing lots of really good players with lots of really good monsters. And it'll be exciting to see who ends up on top. Now it's an interesting format. It's 3 rounds, and that's it. Top 4 qualified. And the double monster, it's 3 rounds. Top 4 qualify, 32 players. And if you don't finish it in an hour, you lose. So, how you feeling about that? How's a protector feel about that?
Well, here's the thing about it is, any tournament where you have 3 rounds, you're dealing with a situation where you don't really have enough matches for luck or matchups, or luck in matchups to even out. So, you could have 3 of the first round matchups of, maybe 6 of what would normally be considered some of the best players in the game. And they're playing each other. And generally 3 of them are going to lose.
Yeah.
And so already you have 3 players who probably could have been in the top 4, could have been in the top 8, and they're starting at a distinct disadvantage and probably won't make the top 4 because they got that first turn loss against another player who's very good at the game. And you got to think about, your first round you get that one really bad 98% die roll that you botch, and you don't have enough rounds to make that even out, for your skill to overcome the bad luck that you had.
Yeah, I mean, for example, if Mark and Josh were paired in the first round, both players made the finals at MonCon, both players highly respected in the Monsterpocalypse community, but someone's got to lose that game, or both of them have to lose, and assuming one of them loses, the chances of making top 4 at that point are very low, because it's not really strength of opponent, it's how much damage did you do and how many forms did you kill at that point. And
the symbol too is that some monsters are better at dealing a lot of damage than others. I mean, take the difference between Mega Tectomock and even somebody like Sky Sentinel.
Yeah.
Mega Tectomock can go in, and even if he loses, he can deal 9 to 10 damage before he loses. Whereas Sky Sentinel, it's going to be either, Sky Sentinel and the opponent loses. Generally, that's what's going to happen, because I don't think he's going to get beaten. But I don't know that he can do 10 to 13 damage in a time divided.
In an hour.
Right. So, like you said, there's a lot of really interesting things. I think it's going to come down to who gets the favorable matchups. Who gets those monsters who are really not quite as suited to deal with the threat that you're bringing to the table. And then who get, it is a dice game after all. And,
it is a dice game.
It could be, 10%, well, I'd be willing to say 10% of the game comes down to whether or not you hit your 80% rolls or your opponent does. And, if you miss one and your opponent doesn't miss one, huge disadvantage.
Yeah, with the short rounds, it doesn't balance out as often because you don't have 5 games to get a 3-2 record and make top 8. Right?
For sure.
Now, I'm just taking a guess here, but assuming you're playing Equosia,
I may be.
what's the one monster that you just kind of look across the table at and you realize, I'm not going to win this game, so I'm just going to try to do a lot of damage? What monster do you not want to see?
I heard Zaxor.
Oh, whisper Zaxor.
It's not quite Zaxor. Zaxor actually is a really good monster to get paired up against because he's got that 7 defense in his alpha, I believe, or that 7 health in his alpha.
It's 5 defense.
And yeah, and it's just like I can burn through that and get a really good tiebreaker. But
And one of the forms.
I mean, I have a problem understanding how to consistently beat Mega Tectomon.
That's a tough matchup.
I mean, like, Akosha wants to transport, and Tectomon wants to swat those transports, so I don't want to transport generally. And, you know, if I don't transport, then I lose a lot of my advantage in the game. And he's got 3 health more than me, and we both do 2 damage in our ultra forms. And he even has the potential to do more than 1 damage in his alpha, which I don't, aside from power attacks. He's got feedback, so it's very difficult.
Even when you transport and he's an alpha, he can beat you back through the units and get extra.
Yeah, extra PI, you know, he can hyper up and do his thing. So I'm going to be looking at headbutts in that match, honestly, and I'm going to be looking at taking him in places where his beatback isn't going to be effective, and trying to back-to-back more effectively than he can by not providing him SWAT ammo.
And quick.
And quick, yeah, that'll help.
Now,
And what about you? You're playing Sky Sentinel, I assume, since he's your number 1.
Maybe. I might be using
You're
Sky
playing Sky Sentinel, so anything that you're worried about?
You know, the monster I'm worried about is actually Mega Tectomic.
There you go.
We talked about this in a podcast a few weeks ago. With his 13 health, you just start at kind of a disadvantage, and even with healing and the consistency of damage that Sky Sentinel does, I just don't. The damage curve is very, very hard to come ahead on, especially with his efficiency in Mega. So it looks like Mega Tectomic is the monster to watch out for, at least as far as we're concerned. I'm sure other players here would have different opinions, and we'll be asking them questions and seeing who wins and covering matches in the days to come.
Word. Hey, who are you worried about, Brent?
Sheriff Armadax.
Sheriff Armadax is also a big concern around here. Alright, great. Well, that's what you have to look forward to from us. We've got plenty of content coming, tons of stuff from the Monpok universe coming your way, hopefully some Series 6 spoilers, maybe Series 7. We'll try to get some interviews with Matt Wilson, DC, Chick, anybody who's involved, anyone who's at the booth. And yeah, that's what we've got coming, and stick around, keep watching the site. We've got a live blog.
Yeah, we'll be live blogging throughout the event, so you can stay tuned all day while you're at work or at home, wherever you're not supposed to be looking at it.
Yeah, and work or home, we'll have a constant update going on where we'll be updating our matches, talking about how the day is going, what the field is looking like. And so it's second to being here. It's not like being here, but it's close. Well, it's not really close, but it's better than nothing.
Well, you don't have to pay for it, so it's way
go.
cheaper than coming. But.
There you go. Alright, so that's it from us in the Radisson here in Indianapolis, and we will be checking in, I guess, tomorrow night with another podcast and an update from how GenCon went and the single monster event.